When I was younger, my family and I used to drive my dad's 97 Explorer to a ranch up in Puerto Cabello. There was this cliff out in the countryside which we loved jumping from. It was probably 12 feet high, but as a kid, it might as well have been 100. We'd usually drive there and the adults would have a picnic while my cousins, my sister Mariana and I played in the river. It was freezing cold, but it was breathtaking. The mix of red and blue gave the water a beautiful purple hue, and the diversity of fish made it feel like a world of its own. With the goggles, you could see the passages that the water had carved out of the rock. I have so many amazing memories from that place. But last time we went to visit, we saw that the river had completely dried up. This amazing place, which had had such an immense impact on my childhood, was suddenly gone. This was one of those moments which made me realize the deep hole we as a society had put ourselves in. NASA researchers have found that the polar ice caps are melting at a rate between 15.1 and 17.2% per year. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, arguably the most powerful person on Earth, just removed the US from the Paris Agreement, an environmental initiative with support from virtually all nations. Not only that, but that same man just removed more than 30% of the EPA's budget, the Environmental Protection Agency. Now he claims that it was done due to needing the funds elsewhere in the national budget, even though this agency makes up less than 1% of the discretionary spending. That's the kind of world we're living in today. But worst of all is that we have the nerve to get up on a stage and call this progress. Last summer, I got the opportunity to travel with my family through Europe. One of the things we wanted to do was go around Iceland in an RV, so we did. One day we decided to go for a walk in the biggest glacier in all of Europe, which covers more than 40% of the surface of Iceland. During the tour we saw some beautiful flora and fauna, some of the most amazing and beautiful sights I've ever seen in my life. When we finished the tour, the guide told us, "We really hope you enjoyed your tour and have a good time, because in less than 200 years, there's gonna be none of it left." I got in the car, on the verge of tears. I turned around and told my family what a huge problem global warming was. "Oh my God, stop whining. That's all you liberals do," my aunt said. I was perplexed. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I turned around, holding back all the insults I could possibly imagine, and I said to her, "Don't you consider climate change an issue? Global warming isn't real. It's just that the sun has cycles, but humans have very little to do with it." Now I know this isn't the question, but let me tell you what isn't sustainable development. Having half of the world's trees cut down in the last 100 years, each year having the hottest year on record, and then breaking that record every subsequent year. Children's having to wear face masks in the streets of Shanghai due to the immense amount of pollution. That isn't sustainable development. If we want this planet to last us any longer, there are some severe changes we need to make. We all have our own duties that we need to fulfill. As consumers, we need to be more conscious about what we consume and how we consume it. Governments need to take action and start passing legislation that will help this planet in the long run. Finally, companies need to start taking responsibility for their actions, because let me tell you, no company will ever be worried about how much carbon dioxide they're pumping into the air, as long as it's free. But forget all that, because I want to end this video on a happy note. It's not too late to take action against global warming. If you feel that your government or your local companies aren't doing enough, you have the right to protest and make your voices be heard. Small actions can have big consequences. Having a small but passionate community that really cares about global warming, climate change, deforestation, or the preservation of marine life could have a huge impact on the future of this planet. So what is sustainable development to me? Sustainable development is having my children grow up in a world where we don't have to worry about how much lead is in the air or how much we have destroyed the ozone layer. It's not having to worry about how much we should pledge to help the flooding victims. It's being able to see across the street without being blinded by the fog caused by all the pollution. Now, this beautiful world is full of problems, and they should all be solved. But we must first remember, there's no planet B.